Shane embraced life and was innately happy. So how is it my handsome, accomplished 6'4" son, who even got married at Cal Lutheran University in Thousand Oaks in 2009, could now be deceased? Not until my son's sudden overnight descent into what today is called cannabis-induced psychosis and his unfathomable death by suicide at age 25, exactly 7 years ago today, January 13th, 2012, a Friday 13th, did I understand the true wrath from marijuana. How could such a devastating tragedy happen to a normal, typical American family? The truth stems from the catastrophic effects Shane suffered with the neurotoxic marijuana plant. Trying to understand the giant puzzle pieces behind my son's brain unraveling is what began my journey, finding other parents with similar shared stories, speaking out about marijuana harms with well-respected professionals is how the Mom Strong organization was formed. I'm one of many voices for the Mom Strong Network, founded in 2016, a national support group partnering to inform and educate about the harms associated with THC marijuana. The site is anchored by the esteemed neuroscientist, Dr. Christine Miller, who's actually become a close friend. We are a group of courageous moms and dads who have witnessed firsthand marijuana severely damage our teenage and young adult children. Marijuana advocates promote stories that taught us harmless, natural, and of course medicinal, while we parents have watched our kids develop devastating mental health disorders, and some of us including a final act of suicide. Some of these changes have occurred in a sudden psychotic break, and then others over a longer period of marijuana addiction. The insidious effects of 21st century skyrocketing potency of THC marijuana, which is a psychoactive property of marijuana, have triggered a suite of psychiatric harms, particularly to the young developing brain, through at least the mid-20s, perhaps later, as our kids have grown up surrounded in California by this ubiquitous culture of pot. Tragically, my son and many others did not realize that this is the time their brains are primed for both addiction and mental health disorders. You really can't tell who will suffer adverse mental health effects. There's no genetic testing, no psychological profiling, no family history screening that can 100% predict who can safely use this drug and who cannot. All of these conditions triggered by THC marijuana are 100% preventable by never engaging with this hallucinogenic drug. Mom Strong is embedded now with many doctors, addiction professionals, pharmacologists, as we tell our stories and unmask the marijuana charade. Several of the ER physician videos of what kinds of marijuana-related conditions enter their ERs on a daily basis are posted on our momstrong.org site under videos. We believe the public has really been hoodwinked by the for-profit industry and our youth disproportionately impacted. The implications of normalizing, glamorizing, and now in California legalizing marijuana are far ahead of public health, leading to soaring THC fatalities, fatal brain harm for pregnant women who are now using medicinal pot. Cannabis hyperemesis syndrome, which is cyclical vomiting, is the number one thing related seen in ERs today, followed by cannabis-induced psychosis. Huge financial incentives enjoyed by the pot industry deny any harms. Our Mom Strong kids are really the guinea pigs in this great social experiment of this century. My Shane lost his life to the consequences of naively believing he was using a harmless herb, which is what he told his dad and me on the night of this unimaginable altered reality, suffering vivid hallucinations as he tried to jump out of our moving car, coupled with his labile emotions saying he had to save a bomb. Imagine that this is your son or daughter with no family history of any serious mental illness like schizophrenia or bipolar. My son did emerge out of psychosis after each of his 2 psych hospitalizations, admitting and testing to just one substance, THC, and was actually in marijuana cessation for 7 months prior to his suicide. How many in here know the scientific articles where suicide is linked not just with cannabis use, but also through withdrawal? Here's a really powerful book just released. It's called Tell Your Children, The Truth About Marijuana, Mental Illness, and Violence, written by a former New York Times investigative reporter, Alex Berenson. His wife is a research forensic psychiatrist in New York. He was on CNN, he was interviewed last night. I believe he's done such a true service to this country, and especially to young people who hopefully will listen to the truth, get informed, and learn the risks about marijuana.